So I did take an extra day. Just need to plan out next parts of the hike and the portions of trail that are damaged. So it's 10 o'clock. Not as early as I hope to get out. I just need to check out and see if I can arrange a ride to a trailhead that'll take me back to the PCT. At the Black Mountain, got a ride from Mr. Grumpy. Lots of information. I'll try to include his info. And now I get to go up. Planning out my route. And I'm going to have a little over 6 miles and like 2,800 foot of elevation gain. So this might take me a little while. And it's 11 o'clock. Got a couple of miles left before we get to the trail. Met up with Frito, who I met at the Paradise Valley Cafe, and the walk has gotten a lot more enjoyable. Yeah. It's getting boring, but we got stuff we can talk. We can talk all day.
Feels like we're more out here with the snow now.
Yeah. That's Interstate 10 down there.
That's Interstate 10.
And the casino and banning and everything like that. That's going to be a little while before I get down there. Got some other hikers, people that know more than me, so I'm listening. Right. That's where the trail comes down. And no footprints.
We saw a guy at the donut shop this morning who had gone through some of it. I was like, dude, he didn't have an ice axe, he just had spikes. Like, you're crazy.
There's where the trail goes down.
Yeah.
You'll notice them kicking in their steps, because if you don't, you slide. I just like big rocks. So what time is it? Some of these fellas are going to do bigger miles than me. It's almost 4:30, but it was good to have people around whenever I was on the sketchy snow. They waited to make sure everybody made it through okay, and that was pretty awesome. I'm going to let you know, I'm actually really good at identifying trees. That right there, that's a tree. That over there, that's a tree.
Oh, okay.
Those up there, those are trees.
Really?
That is a rock.
Okay.
So I'm really good at identifying trees. Here's my water source for the night. It's about 5:30. I think I'm about 1/10 of a mile off the trail. And so now it's time to find a place to camp. Coming from over there. And I think this is where we start the big downhill switchbacks all the way down to the bottom. In the next 3 miles, we're going to drop, I don't know, so however many 100 foot. Just looking for a flat spot, maybe protect it from the wind. Coming from up there. I'm going to go over there. And over there somewhere I might be able to find a flat spot to camp. Looking at the topo map. So I found this spot just shortly off of trail. Or not far off of trail. And it is really cool. Seems like a lot of wind's getting in here. And I'm debating whether I just want to sleep in here or go another quarter mile to a windy as heck wind campsite. That's the spot I was just at. I bet I'm going to regret it, but I'm going to go on to a normal campsite. It's like 9 o'clock. Got a late start. That's because camped with some hikers I haven't seen for a while. It's a bright day. And I've got about 14 miles to get down to the highway. And it's almost all downhill or flat. I've been told that whenever I pan, I go too fast and nobody can see anything, just makes a blur. So I'm trying to do better about that. Came from that way. Got a lot of big rocks. I'm going that way. This water wasn't on the map. I'm glad for it. I'd given away a liter of water to some other hikers and I was getting dry. At noon, stopped at this water source. I think it's the same stream that I found uphill. So I took a half-hour break, 5 miles to the next water, mostly downhill, yet I'm still wearing out. I think we're actually closer to mile 201, but I'm not complaining. Coming down from that way. Continuing on that way. I do like big rocks. Path is getting a little rocky. Normally downhill is my jam, but it's been slow going. Over there, and the trail's going to go around and down and eventually going to go around right over there, go around that bend of the hill. All day I've been looking for this spot. So I can remember in 2017 it was hot and I was trying to find shade, took a break underneath a bush and then came across this. This would have been a neat place to camp. But it's time to keep going. I had a nice long break. I'm completely full with water because it's 14 miles to the next source. There's a possible water cache up ahead, but you really shouldn't rely on those. This is easier on the feet than the rocks and the asphalt, but I am tired of the wind already, and I've got a lot of miles of wind. Only a mile and a half to go to the road. I don't know why I set that as my goal for the day, but that's where I plan to make camp. Seen that from up above. At one point, I was way up there. So there is a little bit of water here, and I think there might be more stashed around. I need to sign in. Fruit. Mom, why you gotta call these people? Well, I got a place to sit, flat places to camp. I did 14 miles. I think I'm done for the day. I slept really well last night, good and warm. When I got up, it was already starting to rain. And up there is the mountain I came down off of. And I know a couple of hikers that camped up there. Ought to be heading down. The wind did change directions on me last night. Tyvek kept the worst of the dirt out of my bag. And that's the direction I'm going. So I'm trying to decide what is the smart thing to do. Throw on the poncho and get going, or wait a few hours to see if this clears up. And I'm leaning towards the wait a few hours. I can't jump off trail every time it rains, but if I'm in a sheltered spot and I'm not in a hurry, then why not just take a little bit of time? Well, 2 hours have gone by, and it's raining more. Doesn't look too good. Water's starting to flow. So, gonna keep waiting it out. If somebody was to come by and offer a ride to a restaurant serving burgers, I would take it, but I'm not gonna call for a ride. It's noon. Some hikers came in looking very cold and wet, arranging rides to head to town. The two hikers that I had camped with the night before last, they said that they had camped with them. A little bit worried, so I'm hanging out. So it's 4 o'clock. Several hikers have come through, cold and wet, and I've been warm and dry. So I made a fire, and I've been making cups of hot bouillon. So there's not much, but I'm helping. It's 5 o'clock. Rain's cleared out. Doesn't look too bad. but there's not a campsite for quite a ways. And it's almost time to make camp anyways, so this is where I'm staying the night. And then there's my spot. It is a beautiful morning, and I'm ready to get hiking. All right, getting started. It's a little cloudy up there, and there's talk of rain later on this afternoon, but I'm ready to get going. I didn't mention it, but just like a couple days ago it was all down, today's going to be mostly all up. So the rain started up a little bit more. I thought I had a few hours before it was going to start getting wet, but I guess I was wrong. Still going up. There's the Mesa Wind Farm office. They say sometimes they'll let hikers come in and buy sodas and stuff, but I don't need any of that. Sun's coming out, so I'm gonna try taking off the poncho for a while. Coming from that way. And if you look real careful, there's a hiker up there. I'm going up over that. I'm done with this valley. Came up over there. And now I get 1.5 miles of down. It's raining again. I'm getting better at putting the poncho on. The hikers ahead of me had a little bit of a head start. Looked like we were pretty close, but that last 1/4 mile up over the pass or saddle took me a little while. Having trouble keeping the lens dry. Every time the rain stops long enough, I take off my poncho, and then a little while later it comes back. So, came from that way. Gonna go up there. The rain's almost stopped again, but I'm gonna hold on to the poncho for a minute. I'm doing a lot better today than I expected. I dread the uphill, but then realize it wasn't that bad once I get up it. That's the Whitewater River over there. And I'm making fairly good time, all things considered. Coming down, get a little over, or about 3/4 mile of downhill. Going down, and there's a bunch of switchbacks, but eventually I'm going to end up down there. It's water. I really don't want to drink it. I've still got most of a liter, and I think I can make it to the next creek. So I'm going uphill, but it's not real steep. Going up, I guess, River Valley, and I have mostly sand, but I had a little bit of sunlight, and it's not raining. My feet are wet, but I'm having a good day. Sand and rocks. I hope it's more sand than rock. Well, my feet are already wet, so I just need to get across. There's the other hikers. And then I need to figure out where the trail's at. I was over there, but before I can get across, I had to get down over there. And I see the other hikers heading up that way, so I'm guessing they know of a better place to cross. I finally just went ahead and crossed. Feet were already wet, and let's see, the trail picks up over there. Where's a post? Got the sand out of my shoes. The other hikers are across the water, and now uphill. Came up from down there. River's over there. Coming around. And I think I'm going to cross somewhere over there. But I can't see the trail, so the sun's out and having a good day. Well, the trail was there and goes over there. Came from down that way, and this should be my last bit of uphill. Going up there, and I can see that I go. I'm sure I probably do all kinds of stuff to get over, but started raining again. I had several hours of sunshine, and it's not too cold. I was down there a while ago. And I just like the look of that valley. Don't like the look of those clouds. I still have more up to do. That's Mission Creek down there. And where I think I'm going to get my water and camp tonight. I still have a ways to go to get there. Going that way, and somewhere I've got to drop down. And I came from over there. 1.4 miles left before I get to water and where I think I'm going to camp. Clouds haven't done much, but they're still there. And first mile of that 1.4 is going to end up being fairly steep downhill, and then the 0.4 is just going to be gradual uphill. That's Mission Creek. This is the creek that got washed out last year by Hillary, and there's supposed to be a campsite over there. I know I'm turning the camera too fast, but I'm pretty sure it's gone. So there's a sandy bar over there, and that's where I'm going to set up. I need to go get some water. So another meal I eat a lot is potatoes and tuna. I warm up almost 2 cups of water. Go ahead and put the potatoes in the bag, then put the tuna in the bag. I got the bigger bag because I want the protein, and if at all possible, you want to have the tuna in oil.